Owl fans, Hootie Who. Indeed, I am Jeremy, the Impact York from Impact Media, and this is Hootie Who, our weekly show all about KSU hockey, rugby, and of course, you guys paying attention? Football. You guys know that. I like messing with you guys. So, some to talk about, obviously. We'll know about, we'll talk football for a second here in a minute, and of course finish up with the other two. But first, I want to tell you how you can be a part of this very show. There are a couple different ways. In fact, I'm going to throw out one that hopefully you guys like. And that, of course, is, we'll get to that. First off, you can email the show 3endzone@gmail.com. You can also search for us on Facebook. You can follow us at Team Impact Media on Twitter. If you want to follow me on Twitter, Triller, TikTok, and Instagram, you can do so at the Impact 99 for all sorts of related things, show related and unshow related. And also, you can find us. You can find this show on YouTube each and every week by looking for impact_media_. So let's get into it. Right? All right. Let's start a little bit, not much of a football note. Football was off this week. They'll be off again this upcoming weekend as the rare double bye week in college happens here. And it has a lot to do with they're an independent and they are an in-transition team. So they, you just try to find enough quality opponents, sometimes enough opponents, but in this case, enough quality opponents to fill out a season. And I've said this before, but in the process, you sometimes get a double bye week, which kind of comes at a good time and kind of doesn't. And here's why. It comes at a good time because now you can rest up some people who may be a little dinged up, a little banged up, even some injuries. You'll make sure to have them ready to go. And, kind of rest up. It gives you a couple weeks to kind of practice some new things if you really want to do that. And then also it's kind of a bad thing because what little bit of momentum you were starting to gain and starting to really build on the last couple of weeks, well, you're going to have a hard time hanging on to that or keeping it around. It's just part of it. And like Coach Bohannon said, he really wishes that they could play a game or so because nothing simulates being in a game. You can practice all you want, but that game experience is ultimately where you really kind of build yourself. But he also said, hey, here's what it is. This year is all about kind of flipping the script. And so that means you get a double bye week. So you get a double bye week. It happens. All right. So let's jump into what do you guys want to talk? Let's ask Producer Sunshine, wherever there she is. Producer Sunshine, do you want to talk about rugby or hockey? Rugby. Didn't see that coming. Really thought she was more of a hockey person, or maybe she wants to save it for last. Who knows? But let's talk about rugby. KSU Rugby hosted the South Carolina Gamecocks rugby squad on Saturday. Of course, I was there. A couple of you guys were there. Appreciate the banter and being able to chat with some of you guys. It's always fantastic. I love to talk hockey, rugby, wrestling. Love to talk in general, but love to talk about great things like that. Our boys, what do the boys do? Well, in game number one, they fought very hard, and it's not a way of sugarcoating anything. They fought very, very hard, but ultimately came up just a little short against is it the A's? The one? I'm going to say the ones against the ones for South Carolina, and like I said, there was some good stuff, and then there was. I'm just going to be honest. There were things that I saw this time around, like some certain fight, throw ins, some of the passes and the aggressiveness was there that has not been as consistent throughout this year, but it was there on Saturday. And then those other things that were have been there almost all year, they just weren't. It was weird a little bit. Solid match. So I threw up a lot of videos, or I put up a lot of videos rather, on I think Instagram. Yep. Producer Sassy's telling me Instagram. We're on Instagram and Facebook. You can see a lot of those clips. I took a lot of videos. A lot of the action was within a pretty good vicinity of where I was. And I hope it helps because, for one, there's some more film and there's some more things because things that were on my side of the field. Talked to Coach Matt. Coach Matt liked a lot of stuff. There was some stuff he said they need to work on. They off week this week, and I think then their final matchup is the week after. We'll talk about that one next week. But like I said, this, when you look at this team, there's a lot. I'd say there's a small amount of pretty experienced rugby players. They've been playing more than a handful of years, and then there's about, let's say 1/3. It's probably slightly different from this, but for the sake of it, there's one group. We'll do it that way. There's one group that are fairly experienced. There's one group that are not as experienced, and then there's a whole nother group that this is the first time they've ever played organized hockey, not hockey, rugby, organized rugby. And at moments, you can tell they've never played before, but majority of the time, even the new guys, man, they're out there, they're pushing hard. Rugby, there's a lot to think about. It's a very simplistic game, but there is a lot knowing where where your kind of blocking assignments are, like trying to anticipate the plays, trying to do things like that. And I feel like the boys are doing a really good job. And like I said, Coach Matt and his squad are they're really doing a good job getting them prepared to play each week. Each match that I've been to has been competitive. Even the ones that I haven't been to have been competitive. And I said, I wish them the best the rest of this season. I will not be at that away game, as I believe I will be calling a game at that point. But I do know some things that could be in the works. I know in the spring they will play sevens. Right now they're playing 15s. They'll play sevens, which is obviously a condensed version, but it's less people, same field. That means there's a lot of action, a lot more action, a lot more. Think of it like in hockey when in overtime you go to a 3-on-3 and not a 5-on-5. The speed picks up, the intensity picks up, and there's less people to stand in your way. So you kind of push the action a little bit. That's kind of what sevens does. And I have an idea who they are targeting to bring in as their coach. Just know that it is somebody I'm familiar with. If you follow some of our other shows, especially rugby related, or if you followed any of our interviews, I have had the person they are thinking of bringing in on. I think I've interviewed them at least once. I know I have had a dozen conversations with them. And even if they don't get this person, I think he's going to play a role somewhere. But other than that, like I said, this was almost year zero to a point for Coach Matt. Not because it was his first year, but given the squad he had and what he's wanting to do and what he's wanting to push. And they knew that. They're going to come in, they're going to lay the groundwork, the foundation. And I think this team is definitely doing that. There are some fantastic, talented athletes on that rugby squad. And I've gotten a chance to meet a handful of them, and all real good group of lads, man. They really are. But like I said, they're off this coming up week, which we'll see what Coach Matt gets them into moving forward, and then they will play their last game the week after that. So that moves to hockey, KSU hockey. Where on Friday night, this guy, you saw me a little bit on some of those videos. We're working out the kinks of trying to figure out how we're going to broadcast and spare the moment, or just, got there, tried to get it all figured out, figure out logistics. We kind of got pushed into a corner per se, not a legitimate, an actual corner, but we kind of got backed into a corner. And so in a pinch, I grabbed my cell phone and I decided that the best way to do this was to record it straight off my Facebook and just call the game as we did it there. We're going to probably do something different this week. We should have Connor Whelan, otherwise known as Wheels, on the camera duty this week. He couldn't make it last week. He had a prior engagement. So as we fill out our media squad, I think the quality is going to do a lot better. We'll see how that goes. But as far as that, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you haven't seen it, or you want to check out some of it, including the intermission reports, including the post-game report, things like that, then I implore you to try to find it on Facebook. I am on there. I tagged the KSU hockey team, so you can go through that way and find it. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to try to improve on that, because this week they have games Friday and Saturday. We will let's go ahead and talk about those. They are going to be at the Cooler versus HPU this Friday at 10:30 puck drop. It is a pink out. Please wear pink and support breast cancer research and things like that. What a great time. October is not only hockey month, but it is, and I'm sure if you're not directly affected by somebody who has had that, then I'd be willing to bet you know somebody who has. So wear pink to support breast cancer awareness and research and such. And like I said, 10:30 puck drop on that one. We will be having basically hockey after dark. That's gonna be a pretty fun night. And then this Saturday, back-to-back nights, means Sunday out. Oof. Sunday could be rough. But anyway, that is at 9 p.m. puck drop on Saturday night at the Cooler. Same opponent, HPU. That should be just a lot of fun. And I see in the comments, HPU, that's High Point University. High Point University, look them up. Good school, good squad. Okay, now it's saying that Friday is at 9:15. I'm just seeing this update. So it's actually going to be at 9:15, which fine by me. I think that works great. Stay tuned for more. I mean, it could be at 7:30 at this point now. I think it's going to be 9:15. We're going to pink the rink. We need to pack the barn. I want to see all you amazing people there. And now let's get into my actual experience. First off, what a venue the Cooler is. If I was going to go see college hockey, that 1,000% seems like a great barn to go. We were in the Red Rink, and fantastic eatery there. You guys should check out. That it backs up to where the media box is. We're up there calling games. PA announcer Amy did a fantastic job. Really appreciate all her hard work as well. There was somebody else up there who was playing music and taking videos and stuff that's with the team. I think an intern. I apologize, I don't know your name. But you were doing a fantastic job too, kind of DJing and doing all that stuff. But I think the Coolers are a great venue. I think you guys should definitely check it out. And as far as the game, the good guys, the Owls jump out to a 2-0 lead after the first period. And at that point, I was like, this team looks, it's one of the better looking teams that incarnations of this team I've seen. And this includes way back when I used to cover. And then second period happens, and that one ends 6-2, where the Owls lead 6-2. And I'm like, okay, well, they actually improved, not just score wise, but they improved on how they were playing and minimized mistakes and other stuff like that in the second period. I was like, all right, you got to protect that lead. And then the game ends, and it's 10-3. 10-3. Just spectacular. And I will overscored on KSU that they were weird deflections. I should know. I was staring dead at the play as I was calling the action. One of them, just a good shot. That kind of stuff happens. I gave the impact player of the game to goalie Connor Lackley, who had, I don't know, at least 20 saves, and every one of them spectacular. Like I said, two of those goals were weird deflections, and the other one is just a good shot. I'm not sure that he saw it. I think he got screened. But I gave him the impact player of the game. I guess I should have did a 3 stars. Apologies. He is by far top star of the night. Let's go Ashton Nolte as the second star because he had a couple goals and some really good plays. And let's go Milkman. Chris Scott, I believe, had a couple goals in there as well. I could have gave it to almost anybody. Honorable mention goes to Tyler Commander, the blue liner, that during a slight skirmish and a little bit of a shoving match, he was just off by himself, standing at the blue line, just shadow boxing, and it was really funny. It really was pretty funny. So Tyler Commander, hilarious, and great job with that. But you guys got to come see this team play, man. It's different than it has been in a while. They have shades of that early incarnation way back when this show first started, the very beginning of this show. It was the main team we covered. And I'm gonna say that alumni, if you're around, come by. Even if you come by just for, I don't know, just for a few minutes, just come by for a period and let me know. We'll set up something where maybe we'll get you up in the booth with us, or during the intermission, or pre or post game or something. We'll get a few of your words on what it meant to and what you think about the product now. Just easy stuff. Because I saw a few of you guys were following my feed. I saw a few of you guys were watching, trying to give a shout out when I could. So any of the KSU alumni, either hit me up on the social medias or drop by and find me. I am not hard to find. If you ask where the media guy or the talking guy is, I'm sure somebody will point in my direction. But other than that, I said that was a fun team. Fun team to watch Friday night. We're going to get a chance this Friday night and Saturday, of course. And just because a lot of you guys keep up, on Sunday, myself and my brother will be going to Mucha Lucha 30th anniversary wrestling show out in Norcross. So if you're out that way, say hello, come by and find us. You guys know how it goes. If you see me at one of these events, if it's a KSU event, there's a different thing you do. KSU event, you got to come up to me, greet me with a hootie hoo. Say it however you want. Does not matter. Just say hootie hoo. We will take a picture. You can post it online. You can tag us in it. We do those things. You're getting free swag, whether it's there or we'll mail it to you, or we'll figure out the logistics once it happens. But I'll do that for a couple people, Friday or Saturday, whichever. Come find me. Come find me for sure. But other than that, that's the end of the show. Appreciate all you guys tuning in to this edition of Hootie Who. I said Friday and Saturday night. Let's go pack the barn at the cooler. And until then, I'm Jeremy the Impact York. Let's go Owls. Hootie Who.